Cancelling Malaysia-China mega projects would be highly risky. Government to improve quality and intensify marketing of palm oil. Hello and good evening. I'm Mohan Priya. Welcome to News on 2. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak today announced 3,000 new model housing lots for the second generation Felda settlers to be developed beginning this year. Felda, together with the respective state governments, will allocate 4,000 square feet of land, which will be built by Syarikat Perumahan Negara Berhad, SPNB. 900 lots will be built in Pahang alone, retailing at 35,000 ringgit per unit, of which the government has subsidized 20,000 ringgit from the actual cost.
Program yang akan kita perjuangkan sebanyak 3,000 lot rumah seluruh negara. Untuk Pahang saja 900 lot. Dan kita juga ada lagi sebanyak 900 lot yang kita akan bagi lot saja. Ini pun ada tambahan program. Jadi boleh buat rumah sendiri nanti ikut kemampuan dia. Itu pun kita akan lakukan insya-Allah.
Datuk Seri Najib was speaking at the launch of the new model housing lots for Felda second generation settlers at Felda Kumai in Berak, Pahang today. Later in the afternoon, the Prime Minister announced a further 666 People's Housing Scheme homes for the Felda settlers and people of Kuala Krau Parliamentary Constituency. The houses are affordably priced at 35,000 ringgit after the 20,000 ringgit government subsidy and a 20,000 ringgit discount for the second generation Felda settlers. Speaking at a meet and greet session with settlers of Felda Dun Jengka, Pahang, Datuk Seri Najib also announced that the settlers' deposits will be allowed to be liquidated for this year's Aidilfitri celebrations to help ease their financial problems during the festive period. Aside from that, the federal government will allocate 150 million ringgit to upgrade the second phase of the main road from the Jengka city centre to Felda Jengka 8. 250 million ringgit was allocated for the first phase. Meanwhile, the Jengka hospital also received a 10 million ringgit allocation for upgrades. Minister of International Trade and Industry Datuk Seri Mustafa Mohamad has highlighted that Pakatan Harapan's intention to cancel the government's ongoing mega projects with Chinese-based companies, should they come into power, will affect Malaysia's relationships with countries who are the economic powers of the world. He added that the plans contained in the opposition's manifesto will also hamper the nation's palm oil and rubber industries, which will have an adverse effect on Felda settlers whose livelihood depend on the sale of the commodities.
Kerajaan Barisan Nasional akan tetap memupuk hubungan yang baik dengan negara China kerana ia telah mendatangkan banyak faedah untuk negara kita, termasuklah untuk mewujudkan peluang-peluang perniagaan dan peluang-peluang pekerjaan. Umpamanya Alibaba Digital Free Trade Zone dilancarkan oleh Yang Amat Perdana Menteri pada 3 November yang lalu. 2072 syarikat sudah disenaraikan dan syarikat-syarikat ini ada antaranya telah berjaya untuk mengeksport buat kalinya ke bukan sahaja negara China tetapi seluruh dunia.
Responding to a question in Parliament today, Datuk Seri Mustafa stressed that Malaysia is a firm supporter of China's One Belt, One Road initiative, as it was the second largest global economy, as well as the country with the highest achieving economy in the world for the past 20 years. The Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI, has identified 73 new science and technology-based jobs as part of the process to achieve a developed nation status by year 2030. According to Deputy Minister Datuk Dr. Abu Bakar Mohamed Dia, the move is also in line with a 60% target of students choosing science versus 40% of students choosing arts.
Jadi kita nak beritahu kepada rakyat sekarang ni, kita punya hidup teknologi driven pada masa akan datang. Orang boleh cerita pasal tahun 20, TN50, ada 70. Mesti telah mempengaruhi pasti lebih kurang 73 ke 73 bidang pekerjaan baru yang tak muncul lagi pada hari ini akan muncul pada tahun 2020, yang semua bidang pekerjaan ini berteraskan kepada sains.
Datuk Dr. Abu Bakar officiated the state-level National Science Week in Seremban, Negeri Sembilan. The National Science Week is held to raise awareness on the importance of science in everyday life and nation development. The installation of closed-circuit television CCTVs in schools do not violate the rights and freedoms of students and teachers. CCTVs will only be installed at identified locations such as schools that are close to the main road and schools with high discipline problems. According to Deputy Education Minister Datuk P. Kamlanathan, the installation of CCTVs in several schools have yielded positive results, with the total of bully cases decreasing to 2,795 in 2017, as compared to 3,448 cases in 2016. For now, surveillance cameras were only installed in high-risk schools, totaling 8 units and 2 monitors by a security company appointed by the ministry.
3 lokasi wajib pemasangan kamera CCTV adalah pintu masuk utama dalam pondok pengawal dan depan pintu masuk pejabat pentadbiran. 5 kamera selebihnya hendaklah dipasang di lokasi yang ditentukan oleh pentadbir sekolah, iaitu di kawasan berisiko tinggi seperti makmal sains dan ICT, bengkel, stor alat tulis dan ICT, koperasi, bilik guru.
Speaking in Parliament, Datuk P. Kamlanathan explained that high-risk schools were identified through various programs in a joint cooperation between the ministry, departments and other agencies in an effort to combat the issue of bullying in schools. Parents of autistic children need to have the awareness and allow their children to be placed in special classes. This is to avoid problems arising when regular classroom learning sessions are disrupted, affecting other students. According to Johor Health and Environment, Education and Information Committee Chairman, Datuk Ayub Rahman, there are parents who do not allow their autistic children to be placed in such classes out of embarrassment.
Kita ada kes di Johor di mana anak-anak yang terlalu agresif yang mengganggu pelajar-pelajar atau murid yang lain. Namun begitu ianya tidak dapat diklasifikasikan ataupun dipindahkan ke pendidikan khas kerana mak bapaknya tidak memberikan kebenaran.
Special education classes are specially set up for autistic students as they will be taught and guided by professionally trained teachers. Speaking after officiating the Autism Speaks state-level program in Johor Bahru, Datuk Ayub also announced that an allocation of 10,000 ringgit would be given to the Johor Bahru Autistic Children Welfare Association. About 2,879 Orang Asli settlers in Kelantan have received the One Malaysia People's Aid or BRIM from the government. The aid, amounting to 1.194 million ringgit, will help ease the rising costs for the Orang Asli living in the interior settlements of Gua Musang.
Kita bergerak dari satu tempat ke satu tempat, khususnya di kawasan pendalaman, untuk membayar BRIM ini secara tunai kepada masyarakat asli. Ini untuk memberi kemudahan kepada mereka, khususnya kawasan pendalaman ini, mereka terpaksa mengeluarkan belanja jika ke Pekan Gua Musang ataupun ke Cameron Highland untuk mengeluarkan BRIM.
Abdul Aziz, who is also the Nenggiri State Legislative Coordinator, said this at the Galas and Nenggiri People's Adventure Program held at the Gua Musang Orang Asli settlement. A Putrajaya Corporation senior officer was charged in the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today with 4 counts of soliciting and accepting bribes involving a tender award to 3 companies. Muhammad Rohaizat Kasman, 46, a Principal Assistant Director of Corporate Services Department, claimed trial to all the charges. On the first charge, he allegedly solicited 17,000 ringgit from Nur Al-Fida Muhammad Zakri as gratification in getting and approving a tender bid for Syarikat Teras Reka, Syarikat Shogi Benar Sendirian Berhad and Syarikat Fida Supply and Services. He is accused of committing the offence at restaurant Nasi Kandar Darussalam, Unit 13, Jalan 4W, Galleria PJH, Precinct 3, Putrajaya, at 4 p.m. on December 16, 2015. On the second to fourth charge, Mohammad Rohaizat is accused of corruptly receiving the sum from Nur Al-Fida and Ahmad Fairuz Abdul Rahim for the same purpose. He is accused of committing the three offences at the same place between December 17, 2015 and May 16, 2016. Judge Alauddin Ismail set 20,000 ringgit as bail with one surety and April 30 for next mention. The court also impounded the accused passport pending disposal of the case, fixed for hearing from November 7th for 16 days. The Ministry of Domestic Trade, Cooperatives and Consumerism, KPDNKK, has seized 5 computers and 41 copies of pirated software worth 479,000 ringgit during 3 raids in Pulau Pinang. According to State KPDNKK Director Muhammad Ridzuan Abdul Ghaffar, the raids were conducted after a tip-off from Business Software Alliance, or BSA, that detected the use of the pirated software. The raids took place in construction and engineering business premises in Batu Maung, Simpang Ampat and Butterworth.
Di Batu Maung, 5 peralatan 119,000. Seberang Perai Tengah di Simpang Ampat, value 286,000. Di Seberang Perai Utara, value 74,000. Keseluruhan RM 479,000 telah disita.
Meanwhile, Mohammad Ridzuan also disclosed that KPDNKK have also seized 156 goods using false MCM logos worth about 5,000 ringgit in Batu Feringgi, Georgetown, Bukit Jambul and Seberang Perai. Coming up, no truth in water treatment plant handover allegations. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Energy, Green Technology and Water Ministry has denied allegations that the federal government is refusing to hand over the Langat 2 water treatment plant to Pengurusan Air Selangor. In a statement, the ministry disclosed that the delivery of the plant was contingent on the finalization of the long-drawn restructuring process. The statement said the federal government views the restructuring of the water supply as the best option to allow Pengurusan Asset Air Berhad PAAB to develop water-related assets and to handle the issue of low levels of treated water reserve margins in the state, which currently lies at 0 to 3%. The ministry said PAAB was entitled to fair compensation for the construction of the facility when justifying the 3.7 billion ringgit in lease payments from Air Selangor. The Selangor government must also commit to paying back PAAB's loan of 1.6 billion ringgit for the takeover of Syarikat Bekalan Air Selangor Sdn Bhd, Puncak Niaga Sdn Bhd and Consortium Abbas Sdn Bhd, including the 6 billion ringgit Selangor Water Bond. The ministry urges the Selangor government to expedite its restructuring of the state's water assets to avoid further supply disruptions. The Land Public Transport Commission SPAD has no plans to set up a tribunal to handle any complaints made by e-hailing service operators and its drivers. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri, however, says the government is ready to consider establishing a tribunal should the need arise in the future. Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri said any issues among the operators and its drivers could currently be resolved by the Complaint Management Department established under the SPAD.
Semua aduan dan isu-isu yang berkaitan, semua aduan dan isu yang diajukan dan dimaklumkan kepada CMD ini akan ditangani secara pentadbiran dan dengan izin case to case basis atau diberi maklum balas berdasarkan isu yang ditimbulkan. Walau bagaimanapun SPAD mengambil maklum akan cadangan yang berhormat untuk mewujudkan satu tribunal dan akan diberi pertimbangan jika perlu pada masa akan datang.
Meanwhile, touching on the welfare of taxi drivers nationwide, Datuk Nancy Shukri said that they will be cared for under the Taxi Industry Transformation Plan, which was approved by the Cabinet in August 2017. Malaysia is working hard towards increasing the quality of its palm oil to attract more foreign demand. Speaking in Parliament today, Plantations, Industries and Commodities Deputy Minister Datu Nasrun Datu Mansor said various efforts are being taken to ensure that the palm oil available is favoured to either be used as biodiesel or cooking oil.
Dan usaha telah banyak dilaksanakan oleh kerajaan supaya sawit daripada Malaysia ini digemari atau disukai dan oleh pengguna-pengguna di luar negara. Ya. Jadi itulah sebabnya minyak sawit ini di Malaysia ini kita berusaha sedaya upaya untuk memastikan pengeluarannya begitu berkualiti, mempunyai R&D kita juga memfokuskan kepada khasiat-khasiat yang ada kepada minyak sawit di Malaysia.
Datu Nasrun said this in Parliament when asked if the government has any intention of discontinuing its research of using palm oil as biodiesel and only focus on using it exclusively as food substance such as cooking oil. Meanwhile, touching on the government's long-term plan in facing the challenging palm oil market, he said that the ministry is increasing the demand by strengthening the current market apart from exploring new markets. The Ministry of Human Resources will review 26 trade union acts under its administration and 13 departments and agencies under the Procedures for Industrial Harmony. Deputy Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Abdul Muttalib says the review will be done in October and will take into account the rights of trade union members.
Memang kita nak supaya kesihatan kerja ini lebih diberikan keluasan untuk aktif dan juga khidmat bukan saja untuk menjaga kepentingan ahli-ahli, tetapi dalam masa yang sama mereka boleh membantu meningkatkan lagi peranan majikan dan mewujudkan keharmonian dalam kesihatan kerja yang juga melibatkan kerajaan dan kementerian kita sendiri.
PNB Investment Berhad PNB is aiming to achieve its 1.9 billion ringgit target for asset under management AUM this year. Its Chief Executive Officer Najmi Muhammad says a new fund investment of between 30 million and 50 million US dollars is for its new multi-currency fund, the PNB Shariah ASEAN Stars Equity Fund. As of today, the PNB asset under management has already crossed the 1.1 billion ringgit mark.
We are confident for double-digit returns for this fund. This is based on the same methodology yang kita pakai untuk our top-performing funds this year lah.
PNB SASIF is investing in 5 ASEAN countries, namely Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand, and plans to introduce a private retirement scheme if the PNB SASIF performs well in its first 6 months. Captain Mohammad Zakwan Adha Abdul Razak scored 4 goals as he powered Malaysia to a 7-0 thrashing of Bhutan at the National Stadium in Bukit Jalil last night. And the win saw world number 178 Malaysia finally end their 12-match winless run on the international stage since November 2016. The squad under Tan Cheng Ho opened the score in the 11th minute when Zak Haikal Noor nodded in a Zakwan pass. 8 minutes later, Zakwan doubled the score through a penalty before Mohammad Irfan Zakaria headed in the ball from a corner kick taken by Zak in the 27th minute. Zakwan was on target again in the 37th minute to put Malaysia 4 up before completing a hat-trick 3 minutes later as Malaysia go into the breather, leading 5-0. Harimau Malaya continued to show their fangs in the second half, and 30-year-old Zakwan found the net for the 4th time in the 54th minute. The last goal was scored by Mohammad Shafiq Ahmad in the 74th minute, who headed in a corner kick to record the first win for Harimau Malaya at the National Stadium since beating Thailand 3-2 in the 2014 AFF Cup final. It is also the first win for Cheng Ho after taking over from Nilo Vingada. And that concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, cancelling Malaysia-China mega projects would be highly risky as it could affect relations with economic powers. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till then, I'm Mohana Priya. Thanks for watching.